Did you know that the character King from the Tekken series is not the same King as the one in Tekken 1 and Tekken 2, and he's a completely different person? Well, if you didn't, wait till you see some very cool details about King. Welcome to another video, fellas. Are you ready? Let's go! First things first, there are two different Kings. The King we saw in Tekken 1 and Tekken 2 is a different person from the King we got from Tekken 3 onwards. That is because the first King died in the hands of Ogre, just shortly after the events of Tekken 2. The first King was also a priest. The first King was a Mexican wrestler that had a unique goal of raising money to build an orphanage. When he was young, King used to be a street-brawling orphan with no care in the world except fighting. In one of his fights, King was grievously wounded and collapsed in front of a monastery. The priest took him in, saving him from death. After recovering, King realized the error of his ways and resolved to start a new life. He became a Catholic priest and renounced his old fighting ways. He then became a man with a mission. He dreamed of building an orphanage for street children, hoping to save them from becoming the kind of fighter he used to be. Next, King and Armor King were friends. At some point, King heard about the King of Iron Fist tournament and saw the opportunity to get the prize money for his mission, which he did. He came third in the tournament and secured enough prize money to fund the running of the orphanage. During the tournament, he encountered a rival named Armor King. King won their battle between them, and after the tournament they put aside their differences and became friends and training partners. Now at some point the orphanage started to struggle, and after the death of an orphan under his care, King resorted to drinking and became depressed. It was his friend, Armor King, who helped him get his life back on track and persuaded him to train and join the second Iron Fist tournament. Thanks to his friend, King managed to recover from depression and alcoholism and joined Tekken 2, which he eventually lost, but he then decided to teach the orphan self-defense. Until he was attacked and killed by the fighting god Ogre. Moving on, the rise of a new king. After the death of the first king, one of the orphans that was under his care decided to wear the jaguar mask and take on the title of king, in order to provide further funding for the orphanage and continue the first king's legacy. And this is the king we see from every game starting in Tekken 3. Which brings me to the next point, Armor King helped the new king as well. As soon as Armor King heard of the death of his old friend, he sought to help the second king train, in order to defeat Ogre. They trained together for 4 years and became good friends until the time of the third tournament, where the second king was about to compete. But the second king was unfortunate, since he didn't manage to win the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3, and also, shortly after he heard the news that his friend Armor King was killed in a bar fight by a man named Craig Murdoch. And this leads to the next detail. King was desperate to kill Murdoch. The second king, seeking revenge for the death of Armor King, bribed the judges to release Craig Murdoch from prison 8 years earlier and lured him into the 4th King of Iron Fist tournament so that he can finally kill him. At last, the duo met and King defeated Murdoch and left him hospitalized. But then, he had a change of heart and decided his revenge seeking was foolish. But Murdoch on the other side won his own revenge, and the two clashed again in Tekken 5, where King won again, and at last, after the match, they shared a handshake and respect. Moreover, King realized there were two Armor Kings. By the ending of Tekken 6, King comes across an old photo which depicts two Armor Kings. And so he went to check the grave of Armor King alongside Murdoch, and there they encountered the second Armor King, who swore revenge against Murdoch for killing his brother. But I'll leave this story for another video. All you need to know for now is that King desperately entered the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7 in order to help both Murdoch and the new Armor King, and also raise money for the orphanage. Last detail, differences between the first and the second king. Well, it's apparent that both kings share the same fighting style, the same appearance, and similar personalities, with both of them being kind and considerate and willing to help those in need. However, the new king is much heavier and taller than the first king, with the first king standing at 190 centimeters tall or 6'3" and weighing 188 pounds, compared to the second king who stands 200 centimeters tall or 6'7" and weighs a massive 271 pounds. All in all, there's been a king in every game in the Tekken series, and this, along with his unique appearance and trademark poing, has made him one of the most recognizable characters not only in the Tekken series but also in the fighting game genre. King is undoubtedly one of the most legendary fighting characters ever.
You win!
Let me know which other characters you'd like to see next on this series. And before you go, smash like and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you for watching, until the next one, have an amazing time and I'll see you all later.